Ms. Sanchez.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I want to really commend you for calling this important hearing on behalf of Social Security recipients nationwide. I'm going to jump quickly into questions because we have been called for votes across the street. And I want to start with Mr. Hammond. I have about 50,000 Social Security beneficiaries in my district who are age 65 or older, and about 8,000 who receive Social Security disability benefits. And they understand that Social Security isn't some welfare program. They understand that it's something that they've earned. An American worker pays into the system with the understanding that they will then receive the benefit once they retire or if they become disabled. Don't you think that it sends a bad message to seniors to default on our obligation to them by cutting the benefits that they were promised and when they knew that those benefits would be available as they paid in to the system while they were working?
I would certainly agree with you that it does send a very bad message to seniors age 65 and over who are on Social Security. In most cases, the kinds of corrections that have been done have taken into consideration where people were in the retirement process. But given that, the modest benefits that we currently have in Social Security really can't afford to be cut. We are actually then putting people further into poverty, or more people into the poverty level than we currently have. So, I think that's correct, but not only for seniors who are on Social Security, but for future generations as well.
Certainly, and I just want to make the point that, when members in Congress up here talk about a 10% or a 20% cut in benefits, it doesn't sound like much, but to somebody who's receiving a $1,000 a month benefit, that's a $100 cut or a $200 cut. That's a lot of money in terms of their ability to survive and meet their monthly obligations. So it's very easy in the theoretical to say, oh, this could be a small correction, but to the people who are receiving the benefit, it's of tremendous, tremendous impact to them. Mr. Ross, something that I want to bring up, there's been a lot of propping up of, or kudos, I should say today, for the defined benefit pension plans. How common are defined benefit pension plans in this country? Because I get the impression that they're basically an endangered species.
They are.
And even when there are defined benefit pension plans, something as simple as a corporate bankruptcy can have a huge impact on the money that folks have been saving and putting away towards their retirement through a defined benefit pension plan. And so my understanding is that most people that I talk to in my district, and probably a lot of your members, I'm interested in hearing your perspective, really believe that even if they have a defined benefit pension plan, that a Social Security benefit is really the only pension plan that they can have faith and trust is going to be there when they really need it.
Yeah, certainly the defined benefit pension system is in serious trouble. 68% of private sector union workers have a defined benefit pension. I think including public sector workers, it's closer to 80%. But there's a very stark contrast between the union world and the non-union world. There's only 16% of non-union workers have a defined benefit pension plan. So the average overall is 21%, but they're definitely on the decline. And that's another reason why Social Security is so important for people. And when we're talking about taking away yet another leg of the three-legged stool, it doesn't make any sense for people who are averaging $14,000 in annual benefits. That's not where the solution lies.
It's sort of just disingenuous to say, well, we can cut Social Security benefits or make modifications because, people have defined benefit pension plans when, in fact, defined benefit pension plans are not the norm for most American workers.
20% or less on average overall, and it's declining. So I think people looking forward to the future will not be able to count even on that amount.
Thank you. And I also want to address something with respect to these proposals that have been tossed around. The Republican leader Boehner has mentioned possibly raising the retirement age. And I want to ask you, unions represent folks across all different kinds of sectors. Would raising the retirement age to 70 for a dock worker or a construction worker be the same as raising the retirement age for, say, an attorney or an accountant?
Absolutely not, and this is something that I know President Trump feels very, very strongly about, coming from the mine workers. People who are making these proposals don't seem to have been around anyone who has had a hard job with physical labor during their lifetime, because they realize that you can't, if you have that kind of a job, you can't work until you're in your 70s.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.